Human nature is very interesting in the sense that, we do these, I don't know if self-deprecating is the right word, but we do these things, we have these habits that really don't serve us in a positive manner, but it's so natural for us. And I don't know if it's rooted in our DNA and our genetic makeup, or I think this quote by Marcus Aurelius that I just put on the screen is a testament to that. Even somebody like him who is running an empire, the most powerful man in the world at the time. And it's so interesting to me that even all the way back then, that advice is so relevant today. When my brother and I first moved to Rome, and obviously there's irony in that, right? Moving to Rome of all places, we obviously had a lot on our minds as far as, how we're going to figure things out here and things of that nature. And our mom actually gave us a really good piece of advice. And she said, just take it day by day, right? Take it day by day. It's very simple. It's straightforward advice, right? But it's good to have a reminder, and it's actually stuck with me. I think about it once in a while when I'm getting overwhelmed and stuff like that. And, just to ground myself in the present and look around me and take everything in. And, all we have is the present, right? You can think about the future, you can think about the past, but the only thing we have and the only thing we're guaranteed is the present. There's no value in overwhelming yourself with things that haven't happened, things that your imagination has made up, right? And the same goes for the past, right? The past is the past. You can't go back and change it. You can't dwell on it. There's no value in doing that. So of course there's value in reflecting on the past to improve your future behavior. But if you're looking back and you're beating yourself up and you did something that you maybe shouldn't have done, or there was a different way you would have went about things, you're not serving yourself. Life is so unpredictable. To bog yourself down and to worry about things and create scenarios in your head, and it really, if anything, sets you back, because those things develop anxiety and stress. And it's like I said, it's human nature, so it's challenging. I always say this, but the things I'm talking about are not easy to put into practice, but you have to work on these things. And that's the point of making these videos, is to maybe make yourself aware of these habits that you have and be conscious of the way you think and behave in your day-to-day life, and make gradual improvements and stuff like that. So yeah, there's another line. I think I put it in one of the descriptions of my videos, one of my previous videos, and it's from Seneca, and he says, "We often suffer more in imagination than in reality." And it's crazy to me because, like I said, I think about these things, and I do these things, right? I do suffer more in imagination than reality. Like, especially when I was younger, right? I think it's natural as you're becoming the person you're meant to be. You question a lot of things, you beat yourself up. But it's important to ask yourself, how many times have you imagined a scenario and it actually played out the way you thought it would, right? Whether it be a good outcome, bad outcome, something worse or better than you expected, you know what I mean? So I think it's really valuable to reflect on those things and say, wow, I thought this was going to go this way, but it went that way, and it turned out better than expected. It may be worse at times, right? That's life. So maybe that kind of conditions us to think worst case scenario, right? Which is not good. I suppose it's in preparation for whatever might happen. But I'm fairly positive that more often than not, the things we're stressing about in our heads and our imagination don't usually turn out as bad as we think they will. Take those scenarios, ask yourself, did this turn out better or worse than I expected? And I think more often than not, those things turn out better than you expected, and therefore it's worth shifting your mindset so that you think more positively and not worry so much about the future and hypotheticals and stuff like that. So yeah, the bottom line, to come back to the original Marcus Aurelius quote, is to take things day by day. I personally am a big picture guy. I like to think, with a bird's eye view and a wide scope of, my whole life and what I want to accomplish and the kind of person I want to be. And it's not in a self-deprecating way. I'm pretty good at, I see these things for myself. I have a vision for the future, but I need to implement the habits and behaviors today to become that person. You know what I mean? So it's not so much, for me personally, it's not so much I'm worried about, oh my gosh, I got to do X, Y, and Z at a certain age, or, I have to accomplish certain things in my life. I'm confident I'll get there, but it starts today. And that's the day by day concept, right? You can't jump to the finish line. It starts today. You take one step forward, one step forward, one step forward, one step forward every single day. And I'm a firm believer that you'll accomplish the things you want to achieve in life by doing that, right? It comes down to the daily habits, the daily behaviors, and things of that nature. So I know I preach about all these things and they all go hand in hand, but that's the idea, right? This is the philosophy and the framework I live by, and I want to convey that to people so that maybe they can adopt something and create their own philosophies and become the person they want to be. So I prompt you to take a step back, right? Pause this video, turn it off, look around you. There's 4 walls, there's a bed, there's a roof over your head, there's food in the fridge. I'm talking to a piece of metal and plastic that you're going to be watching me on your piece of metal and plastic. We're connected by this incredible technology. I mean, these are things that I think we take for granted, we don't think about. But I mean, look around you, take a deep breath, be grateful for what's in front of you. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. You know, assess where you're at in this current moment, and you know, we'll all get there. We'll all get to where we're meant to be. What's for you shall not pass you. I'm a firm believer of that too. So be graceful with yourself. Be thankful for what you have, and you know, obviously, you know, work hard towards your goals, but don't overwhelm by thinking about, you know, everything that the future may or may not have to offer. So